Algebra 1 EOC practice test number 10. All right, you can see that this says you may use a calculator in subpart 2. So we have moved to the calculator portion of the test. All right, so let's look at number 10. The height in inches of each student in Megan's algebra class is shown. All right, select all measures that will be affected if a student who is 77 inches tall joins the class. All right, so some things that you need to know: interquartile range, mean, median, range, and standard deviation. All right, so just a little bit of background. So just a little review. So this is Q3 minus Q1. The mean in your calculator is going to be X with a bar over it, and then median, and then your range is your highest to lowest. So the range is just the difference from your highest to lowest, so we'll see what that is. And then the standard deviation is going to be this symbol, so standard deviation of X. Okay, so if we use our calculator to find these values, we are going to first see what these numbers are using the class data from the beginning. And then we're going to have to check it a second time if we add a new student who is 77 inches tall. So if you remember, you're going to click on Stat to enter a list of data. And number 1 is Edit. So we're simply going to edit list 1. If you have numbers in there that you need to clear out, you can do second plus 4. That will clear your list, and then you can enter new data. So we're going to hit 72, and we have to enter each number in this table. So I'm going to do 72, 72 again, 71, 70, 70, and now I'm on my second row, so I'm going to do 70, 69, 67, 66, 65. Now moving to my third row, 65, 65, 64, and I hit 63 twice, so got to go back up here and change that to 62. That's the last value in the third row there. So see how if the numbers get input wrong, then the data that comes out will be wrong. So make sure that you check these as you go. Now I'm on my last row, 62, 62, 59, 58, and 54. All right, now I can scroll up through here and make sure. I'm just going to double check real quick. 72, 72, 3 70s, 3 65s, 3 62s. All right, so once I make sure that my data is in here correctly, I'm going to go back to Stat and over to Calculate because we want to calculate some values. So I'm going to calculate, enter all the way down through that list, and you can see the first thing on here is my mean. So I'm going to write 65.3, and I don't know why I wrote 63, but let me erase that. All right, so I'm going to write 65.3 here. And then if you scroll down through here, you look at the bottom, 4.82 is your standard deviation. And then if I scroll further down, it's going to give me my minimum, my Q1, my median, and my Q3. So I'm going to go ahead and write down my median is 65. And my interquartile range can be found by doing Q3 minus Q1. So if you'll see here, Q3 is 70, Q1 is 62. 70 minus 62 is 8. So my interquartile range is 8. Now, how do I find my range? My range can be found by doing the largest value minus the smallest value. So 72 minus 54, I can just do 72 minus 54, and that's going to be 18. All right, so my range is 18. Now, that's all the information from this table. Now, what do I do to add one more value? So I'm going to go back to Stat, I'm going to go back to Edit, and I'm going to leave this whole table in here because all of these students are staying in this class, but we're going to add one more student, and this student's going to be 77 inches tall. So let's add 77 to our set of data. And now we're going to go back to Stat and calculate the same values. All right, and all we want to know is which ones will be affected. All right, so if we do that, we can look at the mean is now 65.85. All right, the standard deviation is 5.32. And you can see I'm looking at this symbol here. I'm just matching it with the ones. I'm not necessarily doing these in order. I'm just doing it based on the order of the calculator here. So now I'm going to scroll down. And it gives me my median is 65. And I can see my Q3 is 70, Q1 is 62, so that's 8. And my maximum minus my minimum, that's how I find my range. So 77 minus 54 is 23. All right, so now all we have to do is compare the numbers that we have. Okay, so we can see that our interquartile range is the same. So it says select all measures that will be affected. Okay, so affected means which ones will change. So these stayed the same. The median stayed the same. But 65.3 went to 65.85. 18 went to 23. 4.82 went to 5.32. So that means our mean, our average was changed. Our range was changed. And the standard deviation was changed. So if you can use a calculator and remember those few easy steps, enter your table, and then it's just stat and calculate, and one var stats gives you all of this data. Okay, so the answers for number 10 is B, D, and E.